I get it. Cardano's been down 6 months or so. A lot of people are frustrated. A lot of people are frustrated. But that many more ADA holders are holding stronger than ever. It's awesome to see that. And it really is shocking chart data that we have on ADA that tells us that ADA has been here before, but maybe even more importantly, it gives us an idea, a roadmap of where it's going next. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. It means a lot to me. Let's jump into the Cardano video. This is, I had to use the word shocking for this video because when you zoom out on the charts, first off, just the visual of it, the picture that it paints, it kind of is shocking. At the very least, it's just a wake-up call, right? When we're all zoomed in on the charts so much and we're looking at these zoomed in pictures and the downtrend and we're like, when's this going to end? When you zoom out, it's like someone takes a ice cold bucket of water and throws it in your face and you're like, oh, okay, like there's something bigger going on here, and it puts things into perspective. But there's actual data on this chart that I want to talk about that just tells us a very simple fact. Cardano's been here before. And I'm going to dive right into it. I'm going to spend some time on this weekly chart and just first help you understand and see exactly what I'm seeing on this chart. So I want to take the bars pattern first off, and I want to go all the way back here, 2019 of June, to this swing low down here, and this was December 2019, right? So that entire downtrend looks very familiar, doesn't it? So I want to take it and just place it over here. The movement of Cardano, it was very steep at the very beginning, steeper than the dip that we've seen at the beginning of this Cardano dip. But the premise is the same. 189 days of dipping, right? And back then it is 189 days. So from this swing high to right here, 189 days. And so from the all-time high for Cardano to really the week that we're in right now, it is also, let me move this down a little bit, it is 189 days. So that's the starting point. So not only from a visual perspective, you can just see the similarities, right? Kind of a grueling downtrend. But then we start kind of digging apart or taking apart the data and digging into the charts to really get a sense of, well, what next, right? What should we be looking for? And so to do this, we use pretty much my favorite indicators, the momentum oscillators. And we'll start with the RSI. And the first thing to note is this: the consolidation on this macro chart, and here it is right here. This is the area that we're watching and that we're comparing. So that entire drop in Cardano was just a huge consolidation area for Cardano in this historically oversold type of area on this momentum oscillator. Now we've had very similar consolidation in the same vicinity on that. And I know I've talked about this a lot in these videos, just in context to the momentum oscillators looking very similar, right? And just usually there being opportunity in this zone. We take it a step further and we say, okay, well, what else is going on this chart? The other thing is this. Back here, when Cardano was falling for months, notice we did have the 20-week moving average cross below the blue line, the green line below the blue line. That's the 50-week moving average. We had that cross happen towards kind of the tail end of this entire dip. Well, guess what? We just had this cross happen. This was the end of January, I guess, the 20-week moving average crossing below the 50-week moving average. That has happened. Let's pair that data up with the momentum oscillators once again. And this is where things, for me, kind of get interesting, right? Because if I'm noting the stock RSI, which is a quicker moving momentum oscillator, from when that 20-week moving average crossed below the 50-week moving average right there, when that happened, the stock RSI was kind of in an uptrend, right? Actually. Now, note this. When this 20-week moving average crossed below the 50-week moving average here, there's really no uptrend on this stock RSI. The reason why that's relevant to me, and this is the way I look at the charts, when I see any crypto, and in this video, obviously this is Cardano, when I see any crypto hanging out down here in oversold area for just a very lengthy amount of time without even really coming up for air, I just become more and more bullish on that chart. Like, that's just how it is, right? So I think the fact that it actually made a move to the upside here before kind of coming back down one last time before the actual move to the upside, the powerful move to the upside back here, the fact that that hasn't even happened on this chart yet, that's bullish to me on this macro. This is the macro, right? So the other thing on the stock R side, the quicker moving momentum oscillator, is we have the K line, the blue line, just crossing right now that D line on this stock RSI. And so when you zoom out on these charts, anytime that happens, that's a time to at the very least, start becoming very aware of these macro charts when that's happening in oversold territory. So that's important to me. On the macro, I think that's bullish to me. It is. I'm not gonna be scared to say I'm bullish on the macro. Everybody, you all know I'm bullish on the macro. And then to top all of this off, we have the momentum shift on the MACD. And again, this is going all the way back to the beginning of October that we have been in the red on the histogram on this MACD. And we have just, who knows when, but a turnaround is what we're waiting for. The MACD line to cross that signal line in red. So the blue line crossing back above that red line. Notice the histogram on this though. The momentum on this turning just a lighter shade of red and approaching zero on the histogram. It's what we want to see in any type of macro reversal. It really is this, right? It's that. That's what we want to see. And it's happening. It's happening slowly, but all of these things coming together, it really is, to me, it's shocking because it reminds us of something that is so important in terms of these charts. You have to be patient. We have to be patient, right? We have to let these macro charts play out. We have to let these macro charts and these momentum oscillators hit and reach levels that they've done so before when they were leveling out, right? Before continuing to the upside, before continuing into price discovery. And that's just my view. That's my opinion. This isn't financial advice, everybody. You all know on the short term, we have targets to the downside. A 50 cent ADA is literally, I mean, one move away. It really is. So keep that in mind. But the other thing on this chart I have here is this. If we look at the 20-week moving average cross below the 50-week back here, it was 70 days before Cardano made the powerful move to the upside. This right here is kind of a wild card because, and for any chart, Bitcoin included, I wonder so much what would have happened if COVID never happened, right? This very well just could have been the bottom for Cardano. So Cardano made that powerful move to the upside. Obviously, COVID came in and came back down, but then it continued to the upside. But it took 70 days for that to happen after this 20-week moving average cross below the 50-week moving average. So here we are right now, 35 days from this 20-week moving average cross below the 50-week moving average. We're 35 days. So it's not like you can take historical data and say it's going to exactly line up, but it's amazing to see, first off, this downtrend has lined up very nicely. It's extremely similar, but 35 more days and we will have hit 70 days, which is similar to when Cardano finally made that powerful move to the upside. And it really was. It was a nice move to the upside. We're talking about back then, we're looking at what? 3 cents? It looks like a swing high of 7 cents, over 100% gains for Cardano back then. Just to put that into perspective, 100% gains, if Cardano makes a bullish reversal to the upside, we're looking at 100% will bring us back to the $1.60 range for Cardano. So long story short, y'all know I'm extremely macro bullish on Cardano. But for me, when I look at this chart, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about it all. The bottom is getting very close for Cardano. And all the while, the environment, the world in which we are trading, which ADA is trading, and this is probably the most important part, this is foundational to it all. is a world where ADA is leading in 24-hour transaction volume. And it's a world where the DeFi space on Cardano is just getting started. Total value locked right now, I mean, it seems like it just keeps hitting an all-time high every day. It's just growing. And watching that growth alongside just the entire protocol is so cool. And especially when we go back to the weekly chart and we start seeing Cardano at levels that it's been at before, where it was bottoming out. And so again, I'm optimistic. I'm a very optimistic person. I'm not going to be here sitting around sulking in these videos because we're in a downtrend. I'm going to be finding the opportunities, because we know that just as easily as we see crypto just cruise to the upside, we experience these downsides too. It's normal. It's part of it. How you react to it is the key. So on the daily, and this isn't going to be a short-term technical analysis, we continue to monitor the 50-day moving average, now at $1.01, to the 20-day moving average, 88 cents. That 88 cents, only a few cents above where Cardano is right now, is that first area to see if Cardano can just start making its way through those so that we can start tracking support. On the short term, I'll probably do a more short-term update. We can start digging into things like the 6-hour charts right here. But right now, I just really wanted to do a macro video and talk about the data on the screen, because it's right there in front of our faces. And it really helps give us perspective so that we can just plan accordingly and just think calmly in these volatile markets. So hit the subscribe and like. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.